Rob Acker. I'm the CEO of Salesforce.org, and I'm going to take the next few minutes to walk you through Salesforce.org and our commitment to higher education. And before I get started, I would like to thank you in the audience for your support and being part of this community. Together we've done some amazing work, and together we've become a movement. And that's what this is really all about. It's about us as a community becoming a movement to drive better outcomes for the education space. But before we do, I want to talk to you about something that's called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. This is a really important topic today. As a matter of fact, it's been something that has been on the top of the agenda for the World Economic Forum for 2 years running. And I've been told that it's the only time that they've had back-to-back recurring themes. And it's because all of us are feeling the impact of this shift, of which I will explain in a moment. Whether you're an educator, a student, a corporation, all of us are feeling this. It's all around us. And as educators, we need to pay attention because it's going to change our lives. And what the Fourth Industrial Revolution is that it is an intelligence revolution driven by new engagement models and massive amounts of data. And we're only at the very beginning of this revolution. It started with cloud, mobile, social channels, and it's moved on into big data, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things. As an example, by the year 2020, there's going to be 50 billion connected devices to the Internet. There's only 7 billion people in the world today. So when you really think about it, who are these devices talking to? Oftentimes they're talking to each other. And there's two reasons why you need to pay attention. The first and foremost is we need to understand how we embrace this revolution to drive better outcomes for our students, our teachers, our professors, our faculty. The second reason is then each revolution there's opportunity for people to advance. Oftentimes quality of life and standard of living improve, but additionally there's also risk. There's risk that large groups of people get left behind, resulting in inequality and social unrest. So our missions, it's safe to say, as educators, are designed to make sure that nobody gets left behind. So how does this work? Well, I mentioned that we live in this connected world, and everything is connected. And this has often been called, this Fourth Industrial Revolution, it's been called an intelligence revolution. But I call this the age of education transformation. Because we can now engage and organize to drive outcomes leveraging technology in a very human and personal way for not only our teachers, but for our students. We're talking about mass collaboration on an unprecedented scale. So whether you're a prospect, a student, alumni, faculty, parents, corporations, we can organize a community much more quickly, reach more people at a fraction of the cost of traditional methods. And people are going to be able to connect with your institution in a whole new way. And the result of this engagement model is a massive amount of data and intelligence. We're going to be able to measure and drive better outcomes on a magnitude of order we're only beginning to realize. Data silos are disappearing. And the result is we can collaborate, we can ideate, we can innovate in unprecedented and accelerated ways. Because we have intelligence that informs us in ways previously unimaginable. And you can do this today, and many of you are already doing this. So this is a very exciting time to be in this space. There's two things going for us. As I mentioned, we live in this connected age of intelligence, which is going to transform higher ed. But the second thing is there's more demand for education than ever before from non-traditional demographics. In the U.S. alone, there's increasing demand for higher ed. More underserved populations are coming from K through 12. More working adults are seeking higher ed learning. There's been an increase in demand from international students, and this is a good thing because these statistics back it up. So demand's at an all-time high, and it's going to continue to grow if we tap into the opportunity. And our opportunity is to bridge the demand with this age of intelligence and this age of engagement. And if we make this bridge, we can better understand our students so we can create better experiences for our students as well as our teachers and drive better outcomes. But we still have our challenges. I mentioned that there's risk of people getting left behind. And education, more than anything, is one area we cannot afford to leave people behind. So my call to action is we need to help those outside the room understand the realities of the seismic shift happening here in real time. Currently, we have some real challenges that we've all admired for years about how we can create a better student experience and drive better outcomes. We can change these statistics in this new era. The promise of this age of intelligence is the opportunity to leverage new engagement models that are more effective, efficient, and lower cost engagement models that reach more people. We can gather more data. We can drive better outcomes because we can measure what is and what is not working in a whole new way. This is the paradigm shift. The rising costs of education are matched by rising expectations for students to have better experience and better outcomes. And people expect us to ensure that our students are prepared for the workforce of tomorrow. So we need to ensure that nobody of any demographic is left behind. And you are the answer. You're bringing new thinking about how to build and use technologies, and you are trailblazers. So I just gave everybody a call to action that nobody's left behind. And so what is Salesforce.org's role in this? Well, Salesforce.org is a nonprofit social enterprise empowering our community of stakeholders to accelerate impact in a whole new way. And we leverage 3 distinct programs to drive impact. Those programs are technology, grants, and community engagement. I should say technology, community engagement, and grants, because in priority order, with technology, first of all, when used for social good, it can change the world. There are hundreds of millions of students, and teachers, and academic institutions out there, if you look at the collective whole, who can benefit from this new technology paradigm that not only can drive and measure outcomes in a whole new way. And the second piece is we can engage our 25,000 employees, and we can also engage our community as a whole that we work with to give back in communities in which we live and work. As an example, at Salesforce alone, we've given 1.6 million volunteer hours back just to our community, but 20,000 hours in our local school districts here in San Francisco where we're located. So we partner with the community to drive impact. And the third way that we do this is strategic grants that are focused on education and workforce development. Equality starts with education, and our grant strategy is focused to help build a more diverse, talented, and skilled workforce. This unique model is a multifaceted approach combining technology, community engagement, and strategic grants that positions us to be a better strategic partner for you as we embrace the new realities of this revolution. So let me just give you a quick example. In San Francisco Unified School District, for example, I mentioned that they're getting 19,000 hours of mentoring and underserved students from people within our company here at Salesforce.org. But also, we've given them $20 million to help them upgrade their infrastructure from a grants perspective. And last but not least, we're using our technology to drive better outcomes in the school district. So that's why we're kind of getting involved in what we're trying to do. So let me show you the power of this community and the movement and what we're doing and how we're innovating. Together we've worked to achieve 20 years of innovation in just 2 years ago. So a few years ago we went out and we worked with hundreds of partners. And we said, what would you like to see in the future? And everybody gave a definition, not knowing it, of what the fourth industrial revolution from a technology capability standpoint had. What everybody was looking for was a single system of record, no more data silos, a whole new way to engage with students from any device, putting your students at the center of the user experience, and a system of intelligence, because now you have one single record tracking across your entire ecosystem from every student across their entire life cycle. And this combination of one system of record and the ability to engage more people creates unparalleled amount of analytic capabilities. So we all got together at the Higher Ed Summit and we launched this vision. So we really just only had a platform. And what we did was, when we started, it was a single system of record with some core apps. We have student recruitment, some student success apps, as well as advancement, built by ISVs. And that's what we started with. But then within the last few years, we launched communities, so people can form communities and create powerful experiences that happen on their platforms instead of Facebook. For example, alumni communities or student communities representing a particular class or graduating class or particular science, like whether they're in the accounting or finance, studying accounting or finance at a business school, etc. They form these communities online, and now you own this tribe instead of Facebook. And then what we did was we launched Marketing Cloud, which allowed you to deliver one-to-one engagement, tailored communications for every student at scale, or constituent, I should say, because sometimes students become alumni, and sometimes they're prospective recruits. which drove down costs dramatically because you all have it sitting on one single system of record. Now that you understand who's in your community, you can create these marketing journeys. So then we launched analytics that allowed you to measure impact and gain insight across your organization on any device. You can slice and dice data from your mobile phone. What we basically said was this analytics for all, because now you have this all sitting on one single system of record. And then we launched Lightning. And what is Lightning? It just allowed you to better integrate with other applications and backend systems, but it also created a much more user-friendly UI. And last but not least, then we launched HEDA on the higher ed data architecture, because it was built by our community of customers. This is where we come together and we become a movement. It's basically a standard data model that everyone can build on. So our customers, our SIs, and our partners all built this, and they said, okay, we are not technology companies. Will you shepherd this and own this? And we said, absolutely, we will. And what this has done is this has driven down implementation costs for organizations. It's also creating one single standard. It's made it easier for ISVs to implement off of this standard, and it creates a much more upgrade and scalable support ecosystem. And it's the foundation of the connected campus. So in a nutshell, it's taking the number one CRM and turning it into the number one CRM for higher ed. And now what I am doing is I'm presenting to you what is 20 years of innovation in just 2 years. It's now the connected campus. It's reality. It's single system of record, single system of intelligence, single system of engagement. It's exactly what you asked for. And it's evolved. It's the ultimate platform for achieving the higher ed transformation. And we're not done. We're going to continue to innovate and invest. You told us the challenges you're facing in one particular area of student success, and that's student advising. So we're building Salesforce Advisor Link as an advising solution that will connect your advisors to your students in a whole new way. Advisor Link will give advisors the real-time data and mobile tools they need to deliver personalized, proactive advising to every student. And we're working with schools like University of Colorado and Arizona State University to put the latest advising best practices and innovations into a next generation advising solution for all customers. Advisor Link will be available in early 2017. So we're continuing to innovate. What does that mean? What are the results? Well, it's working. Our customers have seen a 63% increase in data quality, 36% increase in student retention, 34% increase in constituent engagement, and a 30% increase in funds raised, a 27% increase in productivity. Ultimately, it all comes back to you. It was you and the community who started and drove this unbelievable movement and who are changing the face for higher education. So thank you very much. And I just wanted to say thank you for being a part of this movement, and we're going to continue to innovate and change the landscape of education in this fourth industrial revolution together.